Hey folks, I hope that I find you well in these confusing and turbulent times. I think that if we're honest with ourselves, very few of us are particularly happy with the situation the world is facing at the moment. But one of the things it has done, which is positive from my perspective at least, is that all the consequences of the global lockdown and the coronavirus have stripped away all the filters and deceptions that we used to live with and forced us to take stock and consider what really matters in our everyday lives. For me, the biggest and most important takeaway from all this is that when the chips are down, like they are right now, you cannot rely on your government to look out for your best interests. In fact, in a South African context, most of the problems we are currently dealing with are the direct result of actions that our leaders have chosen to take, whether that's in the short term over the last few months or going back several years or decades even. Politicians here live in a world that is entirely divorced from the everyday struggles of the average South African. And when I read the international news and hear from friends in other parts of the world, I get the sense that their leaders aren't much different. What I think this means is that our energy is best focused in the communities of which we are a part, and we should devote our efforts to improving the lives of those we care about and building things rather than trying to tear them down. At this point, only an idiot would try to deny that the system is rigged against the average person in the street. But to allow that realization to drive us into fits of rage and destruction isn't going to help anyone either. I think that the best thing any of us can do right now is to try to remain calm and rational and to develop the inner strength necessary to be in a position to help our friends and neighbors if and when they need it. And if each of us do that, then we can all weather this storm together. It's obvious to me that society is currently gripped in a wave of anger and resentment. But I think that if we allow ourselves to succumb to the most violent and base aspects of our nature, things will only get worse instead of improving. And just in case anyone listening to me gets the wrong idea about what I'm saying here, I'm not trying to make the claim that anger is never useful or necessary. In fact, there are times where if we want things to get better, we must indeed get angry. But that anger must be controlled and channeled toward a particular purpose, and it must be constructive rather than destructive. Because if all your anger does is cause you to burn and destroy things, then you almost cease to be human, and you may as well just consider yourself an animal thriving on impulse, rather than a creature capable of higher logic and reasoning. My essential aim here is to encourage you to keep your emotions in check and not allow yourself to give in to the forces that now very obviously seek to keep us divided and in conflict with one another. Because if I've seen anything about life in South Africa, it's that a state of perpetual conflict very seldom ends in a positive outcome. Before I go, I just want to extend a very special thank you to my patrons, because without their support, I would be in much more dire straits than I am at the moment. And as a South African, I'm very fortunate to be in the position I'm in. So yeah, I'm just really thankful for you guys and everything you do for me on a monthly basis. For now, farewell.